Greetings, people of Earth. Welcome back. My name is Jax, and today we are talking about The Courage to Be Disliked, which is a fantastic book if you haven't read it by a former president, but it's also a good piece of advice for anybody who struggles with people pleasing, struggles with anxiety, and trying to live up to expectations, trying to make sure everyone has a great time, and I want to talk about it. So, I grew up very much being the good host. I always wanted my friends and the people around me to have a good time. I've gotten really good at diffusing awkward situations, when two friends are just about to start to get into like a big debate or argument. I'm really good at changing the subject or switching the conversation. I had this recently over the weekend where I was at a house party with a bunch of people I really didn't know, and there were several instances where two people were kind of at odds. These two people don't necessarily like each other. I doesn't take a genius to see it. I saw it pretty quickly that these two people were not each other's fans. They were not happy, and many comments were made on both sides, basically trying to be catty and argue, and I was pretty good at diffusing it. And I don't want to start this video off by saying that kind of thing is a bad trait. There's nothing wrong with being able to diffuse a social situation like that. But it got me thinking about who I am as a person, what I value, what I actually believe. And it made me think that sometimes I will not be who I really am. I won't say what I really believe. And in person, I don't necessarily like this trait. I'm doing it usually for a motive, like I've just explained. I'm just trying to have a good time at a house party. And I don't need two people that I care about arguing about trivial, pointless, ridiculous things. But it also made me think about how it's a form of being disingenuous. It's a form of not really being who I am. And it made me think that it takes a lot of courage and self-assurance to be disliked, to be the problem. I very much have the philosophy in life that when you're in a situation like that, it's really small peanuts. It's really not a big deal. And so just diffusing the situation has always been my go-to, make a joke, make a joke at my own expense, and diffuse a situation that I just see no point in conflict. And you guys know me, I'm not a very conflict centric kind of person. I don't thrive on it. I don't go looking for conflict. And that, again, that is fine, but it makes me feel like many of the people in my life have very little understanding of who I really am and what I hold dear. And it's kind of a bad feeling, like I would like the people in my life to know where I stand on things and what I believe in and my values. And again, I'm not hiding them from other people, but I just choose to be the quiet person in the corner, enjoying the situation, enjoying the moment, rather than getting up on my high horse and talking about politics or any number of topics. Pop culture, it can be very small, it can be very big. And we come back to this idea of having the courage to be disliked, having the courage to say, actually, what you just said is very annoying, wrong, frustrating, makes me want to explode. But I have such a hard time with this idea that, if I cause a stir, people won't like me. And it's sort of a screwed up kind of habit that I have I think in the future, I would like to be more honest, and I would like to be able to say like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't believe what you said," or things like that. Um, Again, it's a very difficult balance for me because I'm so laid back when it comes to a lot of these things. I don't have a bunch of ferociously held opinions that everybody needs to know about. I don't care that much. Um, so I don't really know where this leaves me. This video is not extremely decisive, and I apologize for that. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on this, but I see people, and I'll use my cousin as a good example of someone who absolutely does not care what other people think of her. And she is so liberated in being able to tell someone, no, I actually don't like you. You know, I think everything you just said is absolutely garbage. And while she might not think of it as courageous, I definitely see a sense of not needing anything from anybody and not having any anxiety over making a perfect reputation or a really good impression, you know? Either you like her or you don't. And people have said that for years about her, is that, you know, she's not for everybody. She can be a bit abrasive. You know, she'll tell you exactly what she's going to do, and then she's going to go and do it. And I've always admired that. She's a little bit younger than I am, but she just has this determination that she's going to do it, you know? And I have always been the kid that has been asked to go play kickball or asked to do this. And I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, do I love kickball? Not necessarily, but I like being asked. I like that people consider me. And, you know, I like having the reputation of someone who's kind of golden retriever, down for everything. Like, yes, absolutely. Like, I'll go chase a ball for 5 hours. Like, why not? And so, like I said, I have this difficult debate in my head about being genuine and truly who I am, or pleasing people and making sure that everyone is happy at the house party. It's a toss-up for me. It really is, because having the courage to be disliked and having the courage to be 100% authentic and basically honest with people in that way, I want to do that. But at the same time, I struggle with it. It's hard. I don't want people to get like the wrong impression, or to put me in a box of people who are hard to deal with, and oh, well, we won't invite him next time. And I feel like most of the time I make these videos, I have like a pretty clear understanding of what I want and what I want to say, and how I want to use this piece of advice in my own life. I'm so out to lunch here, guys. I have no idea how this can actually function. How do you be a genuine human being, but also not just an insufferable jerk who runs over everybody roughshod? How do you balance being honest, but also having the courage to not worry about what other people think? And maybe that's what it really comes down to, is not having such a hyper fixation on how other people view me. Maybe it's about allowing the people who want to be there, and understanding that you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. You're not going to be this perfectly loved 100% approval rating figure. Nobody is, and it's an unattainable goal, so why do you keep trying? Maybe that's the kind of liberation that I need, and it is the courage to be disliked. If you haven't read the book, read the book. It's awesome. There's an audiobook. It's on YouTube. Go for it. Let me know what you think, and I hope you're doing well. I hope you don't struggle with these existential crises on a weekly basis like I do, but maybe you do. Join the club. We should make t-shirts. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I will talk to you guys tomorrow.